Good morning. So y'all, I want to tell y'all about what happened to me a few days ago. It was probably about Wednesday or Thursday, okay? But if you guys have watched one of my videos, I talked about how I had a smell on me while I was going through the witchcraft and voodoo area of my life, and I explained to you guys kind of how it smelled, but it kind of smelled like I kind of smelled like vinegar or some type of sulfur or something. It was more of a vinegary scent to me. And then but I would smell other smells that was around me, and it would smell like fish or rotting meat or it was something. It was disgusting. And I would get a whiff of it every now and then. It wasn't all the time, but it was every now and then, but it was kind of frequent too at the same time. And other people could smell it sometimes, and sometimes other people couldn't. But I hadn't smelt that smell in a long time, and in years, and I told somebody that in the comment section that I hadn't smelled it in years, and I was telling the truth. So it's like every time one of you guys bring up something, or I hear somebody else say something, I think some kind of way that be God getting me ready for it or whatever's about to go on. So around Wednesday or Thursday, I believe it was Thursday, um, I smelled that smell again. Not on me this time, but it was around me. And the scent was so strong that it smelled like it could have been on me. So I knew it wasn't me though, but I went ahead. I was like, what is that smell? And I went to smelling around, and it smelled like rotting meat. It smelled just like some rotting meat or rotten eggs. It smelled like it was rotting meat mixed with rotten eggs, and that let me know, okay, somebody did a spell. Somebody attempted a spell. And I went to reading a little bit too. I believe they probably attempted some type of a love spell or a some type of a graveyard spell or something. Because the reason I say the love spell is because when I read up on this a bit, it said that a love spell, if it doesn't work or if it backfires or something, that it will create a stink spell. That it would create a stink spell. I'm gonna have to look more into that, but that's exactly what I smelled. It was, y'all, these people are disgusting. They are disgusting, y'all. Whenever you guys are praying against witches and warlocks and spells and stuff, you cannot be nice about it, okay? The Bible does say do not suffer a witch to live or whatever. They do say that. If I have permission and if I find out that I can pray certain things in the spirit legally, then I'm going to do it. Because one thing about me is that, well, the difference between me and a lot of people is that I know what that stuff feel like. I know what it's like. I know how bad it gets. I know how horrible it is. I know how it destroys a person's life. I know how it can wrap itself around every aspect of you to where you won't even be yourself anymore at all. It will take everything away from you too. All while destroying your personality, destroying your finances. It destroys your health. It can destroy your friendships, relationships. It destroys everything. With me knowing this and knowing how it also will torment you all while it's destroying you, and it will kick you and keep kicking you, and it will not stop. With me knowing the temperature of those things to a certain degree, because I'm pretty sure it's worse than that, than what I've seen, I'm not going to be lenient or nice on these witches whenever they try to approach me, whenever they attack me. And I'm gonna give permission to God to say certain stuff in my prayers, because they need to go. They need to go on somewhere, and I'm being so serious. That smell alone was annoying. It was a very annoying smell. I don't smell stuff like that in my daily life. And it will make you think it may be a person, but I mean, and it came and it went, but it was horrible. I don't want to be going through all of that, which I knew that I would be attacked anyway, but like I said, do not be lenient on this whenever you are praying against this stuff, because it will, they're looking to kill you. So you wouldn't walk up to Freddy Krueger and then go to praying that he stopped. You know, you be taking a huge chance. Sometimes it works, sometimes it won't. You have to pray in certain prayers. You have to be in the spirit, and you have to say certain things to get these people to leave you alone. One time, matter of fact, yesterday, I said a prayer to confuse their languages. I asked God to confuse them to where they don't even know what spell they're about to use, confuse their tongue. They don't even remember who they was about to put a spell on. And y'all, it worked. They couldn't even remember what spell they was about to use. And they couldn't even remember who they was about to put a spell on. I seen it in the spirit. She was like, what was I about to do? She was confused. She didn't even remember. I prayed that prayer and it worked. I suggest y'all to do the same. Because if this stuff attaches itself to you, it's gonna be hard to get it off. Okay? Especially if it lingers there for a long time, because the longer that is there, it seems like it's harder to get it off or to remove it. But in some cases, it will die down, like the energy of it will die down a bit between like certain times, and then you'll have a way of escape. But you have to know where to escape to in the first place to even get it off. So the whole process of even removing it is horrific. Like, you have to go through so much just to find somebody to get it off, just to, you know, and then the process of getting it off isn't any easier. Like, you have to really go through that consecration to really get this stuff off of you. Like, it is horrible. So do not be lenient. Do not be shy or scared to say certain things in your prayers. You know, like I said, I confused the languages. I confused every witch and warlock's language in the mighty name of Jesus. They can't even remember, Lord. I ask that you confuse them. Like I was telling y'all before with the Tower of Babel. God is not the author of confusion, but he will utilize it just like he did in the Tower of Babel. Okay? And that's what we can do. We can do the same thing, especially against people that's out to kill us and hurt us. Because I do understand that we're going to go through battles and things like that in the first place. But it just, if you're going to be fighting, you might as well fight. You're going to have to fight in the first place, so you might as well fight right. And one thing about me is I am a fighter. And a weird thing about me is I kind of like to fight because it's just in me. And I'm like a warrior. So it is what it is. And one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down some things to say. I'm going to write down some prayers to pray against them specifically. I need some specific words to say because our words are powerful. This is why I said do not let the devil steal your language and steal words from you, because you're going to need them in battle. You're going to need a lot of these words in battle. And that's the reason why the devil do that, so that you won't utilize certain words in your prayer life, so that you won't say certain stuff. Because it takes a certain word certain times to break certain stuff. You have to be specific as you can be, as specific as you can be in a lot of these cases and in a lot of your prayers. So, and God tells us also to be specific. Okay, we have to be specific in what we want and what we don't want. All right, and don't be speaking word curses over yourself or over other people. You just don't want them bothering you. All right, when you know you're being attacked, you pray prayers that will get them to leave you alone. Because if that spell would have attached to me, then it would have been hard for me to focus and everything like that. It would have been, my brain would have been fuzzy. I wouldn't have been able to get things done that day. I probably would have been snappy with my children or something. I don't need all of that. So guess what? I'm gonna pray as hard as I can. All right, y'all, these people are nasty. They have to touch certain things, like to even put the spell together in the first place. Like, they literally have to touch dead stuff and feces and all types of stuff, when they could be putting that energy into doing other great things, like into doing great things, because ain't nothing great about that. They could be using that energy to do works for the kingdom. So they putting all of their energy in the wrong space, and then they mad at you because you doing things the right way. So they mad at you. It's like you could do the same stuff, but you choosing demons and the devil over God. So hey, but anyway, like I said, don't be shy with your prayers. Pray what you need to pray. All right. Love y'all. Bye.